my way home, I've come to quote to clean the roof for this customer. It's a window cleaning customer who has recently moved to this property. I quote it in a very similar way that I do for pressure washing a driveway or patio. So I try and gauge a measurement of the size of the area of the roof, and I'll do a quote based on that. Show you how I try and measure the roof. Slightly unusual tiles. It's not too bad, but there's a bit of moss up there on the roof. So in order to gauge the size of the roof, I've just got a tape measure here. I'm not going to try and measure the roof right to the very top. If I just try and gauge what a metre is, a metre will basically be 3 tiles. So that's about 3 tiles worth. So then if we count the tiles up the roof, 3, so that's 1 metre, 2 metres, 3 metres, 4 metres, maybe 5 metres, all the way to the top. In order to gauge the length, what you can do is just paste it out below. Another little tip for that is these clips on the gutter will usually be about a metre apart. These ones are a bit less than a metre, but that's often a good way to try and gauge the length as well. This roof is quite an easy one to quote, as it's just 2 square sides on the front, the same on the back. A lot of roofs are a bit more difficult than that if they've got a number of different aspects, but I don't usually worry about it too much, getting an exact measurement. Either way, it's good to try and gauge the size and the area in some form, because that's going to give you a good idea of how long it's going to take. It'll give you an idea of how much biocide solution you're going to use. When I quote to do a roof, I will offer the biocide treatment and the scraping together. I like to really promote the biocide treatment because that will kill off any organic growth on the roof, and it will also act as a preventative, so it will stop anything growing back for up to 2 years. So I really like to promote that as the primary way of dealing with the situation on the roof. And I will often say to the customer that I'll scrape off the worst of the moss as well. Now, that's a good way to approach it because obviously I want to do the best I can with the scraping of the roof, but I don't want to put too much pressure on that aspect of the job. It's kind of under promise and over deliver, so hopefully the customer will be really pleased with the result I can achieve. But if I haven't promised too much in the first place, then there's not too much pressure on the job. Go and have a look round the back. What you notice is it's a little bit worse out the back here. Often you see that the moss will be worse where birds have been perching on the TV aerial and making a mess, and that encourages the moss to grow. So yeah, it's not too bad. So I've measured it to be about 5 metres, and the length I paced it out is about 8 metres. Now I usually charge around £3 per metre for scraping and biocide treatment, but also on top of that I'll bear in mind that I want to achieve a minimum charge for the time it's going to take me on the job, using the different specialist equipment I'm using and the chemical as well. There's a cost there in the biocide chemical that I'm using to treat the roof. Also, if it's a bigger roof, I might charge a bit less per metre. I also gauge it on how bad the roof is of moss, and the more jobs you do, the more experience you'll get in knowing how difficult it's going to be for each one. You know, this one's not too bad. I can't foresee it being too much of a problem. Reasonably straightforward, but other tiles, sometimes the moss can be a little bit more difficult to remove. It's not always as easy as you think, so sometimes the scraping can be a bit of a struggle, but the more roofs you do, the more experience you'll get. So my quote will include for scraping, clearing out the gutters, clearing up any mess from below as well, and then the biocide treatment. So what you quote might depend on your own business. I know national companies might be charging quite a lot more. I like to look after my customers on a local basis as much as possible, so that often means looking after my window cleaning customers as well. A lot of my work just comes from that, really. So hopefully that just helps you a little bit with your quotes. Please check out my channel where there's loads more on the scraper tool that we use, and also the biocide treatment and how to apply that. You can check out my roof cleaning playlist where there's all my videos collected together in one place for you to have a look at there. So check out my channel, give the video a like, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. So I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.